All right, obviously everybody knows the Tennessee quarterback has been kicked off the team due to him holding out, not going to practice, team meetings, because he wanted to get paid more money in this name, image, and likeness era in college football. First of all, good job for Coach Heupel for putting his foot down and coming out and saying that this is a program. Nobody is bigger than the program, not even him as the head football coach for the University of Tennessee. This is a new era of college football that is not going the way the name, image, and likeness was supposed to be going. And this is now a new world of college football that is going to turn a lot of people off, in my opinion, especially us who coach the sport. And I believe this isn't the last time we're going to see this. This is a big step. This was a bold move from the quarterback here, Nico, he decided, I'm not going to go to practice. I'm not going to go to team meetings. I'm not going to go to spring ball because I want to get paid more money. Even though he was making over $2 million from his name, image, and likeness deal to play college football. He's making as much money as Brock Purdy for the 49ers, who has taken them to the playoffs and put them into situations and almost to win a Super Bowl. He's sitting out because he thinks he needs to get paid $4 million. Let me repeat that, $4 million to play college football and get an education on a scholarship. And this is what he thinks he's worth. And it's not a quarterback that has won a national championship. It's not a quarterback that has these outstanding numbers. This is not Tom Brady. This is not Cam Newton. This is not any of those guys. This is a college quarterback who is young, and he is getting told by family members and some snake of an agent that he is worth $4 million a year. When is enough money enough? Like $2 million to go out and play college football, get your education for free, while there's people out there living paycheck to paycheck, even with a college degree, and you have the nerve to be a student athlete to say you are worth $4 million. Now, I'm not saying college football players shouldn't be paid. I 100% agree they need to get paid. Nobody, I think 95% of people agree that with the amount of money that college sports bring in, especially college football, that the players deserve to get something. But holding a program hostage, holding the head football coach hostage, who recruited you there, the assistant coaches that recruited you, that believed in you as a person, to try to screw them over by holding them hostage. What kind of right do you have as a 19, 20-year-old to hold 40 some year old grown men as a hostage when you haven't paid a mortgage yet? You're not paying a car payment. You haven't done this. This is the first time you're making money and you want to hold them hostage. And guess what? This is the reality. In the NFL, when a player holds a team hostage, they've had an MVP type season. They've led a team to the playoffs for a couple years. They have these amazing numbers put off the charts. And usually they're going into the last year to maybe 2 years of their deal. But there's consequences. When they hold out in their contract, if they decide not to go, they have to pay money towards the team. So apparently in college football, if you hold out, there is nothing that says you have to pay that money back to name, image, and likeness. And it's a collective that college football has put aside in these programs in order to pay these athletes. So he knew that right here. This guy knew that. So he said, I'm just not going to show up. What are they going to do? Coach Heupel said, screw this. This is a program. This is not the NFL. This is not an organization. This is a program. We are here to help build you as better athletes, as better people. So maybe you can go to the NFL. Maybe you can make some money while you're here, then get your degree, go out and get a job, and be put into a situation where you are going to be successful. So bravo to Coach Heupel for getting rid of him. Would have done the same thing myself, saying, you're done. You're not coming to things that are required of you. You're done. This name, image, and likeness thing is not going the way that it was supposed to go. This is supposed to be go sign autographs, go be in a commercial, boosters. Boosters supposed to come in and be able to help pay for things. Now they have a legal way to do it, but the NCAA lost control a long time ago. Now college football is going to slowly start losing control of this. So we live in this era now where they can leave almost whenever they want, as many times as they want. You've got players that think that they need to get $4 million a year. That screws over the rest of your roster because what other money are you going to use to pay other players? If he wanted $4 million, okay, that takes money away from other things. So how are you going to be able to get a wide receiver in? How are you supposed to get the O line in? How are you supposed to get the running backs in? This never makes sense. And the thing is, these are young people. They are getting told by snake agents and organizations what they're worth because then they're taking 20 to 30% of that money. You've got family members that are saying you are worth this much money. I would live a long time. I'd live a good life with $2 million, especially if you're getting all that very quickly and you're playing a sport. Like this, none of this makes sense. So now it's turned into head football coaches at colleges are now roster managing. They are there's going to be contract negotiations. This is not what college football was supposed to be. Getting name, image, and likeness. This is what's turned into. Nick Saban had warned us that something like this was going to start happening. That's why you have college football coaches trying to get to the NFL. And then a little bit, you're seeing NFL coaches start to come back to college because that's what they were doing in the NFL. And if players can just leave whenever they want, this is what you're doing. And if a player doesn't work out, you can tell him to go, get a new one in the NFL. If a guy doesn't work out while he's under contract, you got to trade him. That's the only thing missing in college football is trading. Don't be surprised if that's going to start happening, but it's done differently into the transfer portal, which stems and causes a lot of these issues when it's connected to name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness is not supposed to be connected to the transfer portal. It's tampering. It should be tampering where if you jump into here, they're getting told if they jump into the portal, they're going to get this money. And I'm very curious if a team's going to sign him. And if he signs and go join another school, is he going to get the same name, image, likeness deal he was at Tennessee, or is somebody actually going to dig in and say, we'll give him $4 or $5 million? And then you're taking a risk on a 19, 20-year-old. Yeah, he had a good season. He comes to your school, you give him the money, and then he doesn't have even the same season he did last year. You don't go win a national championship. Maybe you lose the first round of the playoffs. Maybe you don't win your conference. So these are risks you're taking. In the NFL, you're taking risks on grown men, but you have film of adjustment of they sign a rookie year deal, they play for about 3 years, you see the development, now you're able to take that risk signing them. Here in college football, you have a year's worth of film. So now you're taking a risk off of this 1 year for this quarterback. Something has to be done. We need a college football commissioner, and we need set rules to fix this problem. It should be you get one free transfer. You'll get another one if your head football coach leaves the program, and then you're able to enter the transfer portal. And then whatever name, image, and likeness deals that are within the school need to be contract based, saying you have to complete so much time here in order to receive X amount of money. And if you break the contract to go into your one free transfer portal, you are now voided of that contract. You have to pay money to get out of that contract. They want to be treated like head football coaches. Football coaches leave all the time. But what they don't talk about is in contracts, those head football coaches have to pay money. Usually, the universities that they go to pay that for them, but there's still a penalty for breaking said contract. So these players want to be treated like adults. This would be the next step in order to do this. It needs to stop being the wild, wild west, leave whenever they want, still get the money, and there's no consequences because then they're not learning to fight under adversity. They think this is happening. They think they're worth this. And I'm glad they're making money, but now we're starting to step into this is going to be a minor league team. And I think schools are going to start breaking away from the NCAA and they're going to live off of boosters, they're going to live off of, they're going to get separate TV contracts, they're going to get the money that way. They're going to look at this and it's going to become a farm system for the NFL and college football as we know it. It's not going to be the same even more than it's not being the same now. Nick Saban, it's time. It's time for you to take over. Maybe you and Bill Belichick can take over and run college football to try to have some reins on this thing and get this back to the college football is still great. Nobody's going to sit here and say it's not great, but we got to reel this in.